Okay. Ishida has finished her movement. It's our turn. I'm a little nervous about what's happening over here in Gifu. We've got a bunch of blocks moved in against our blocks here in Kiyosu. Now, remember, the problem with Kiyosu is our hand. We have one flower card that'll match this block. We have our wild devils that, remember, we can call into battle with any card we want. So we could use this second card here to call them into battle if we want to. We've only got, however, 2 troops we can fight with. Okay, so I think we're going to leave Kiyosu for now. I don't think we want to launch an attack from there. I just don't think we have the strength. So we may just be playing defense over there. Let's swing over to Ueda, which is where we were planning on starting our combat. I have to apologize. My dog is chewing a bone in the background, and she is really going at it. So that's what you're hearing back there. What if it makes her happy? Right. So here we are. Remember, we've moved in our troops from up here, from Kanazawa, way up there. They're going down these paths, and we've also moved up some from Edo, right? And we're converging here on Ueda. Can you see that? Okay. So here's the problem. Remember, these 3 troops, while we can move them, we do not have their support based on the cards in our hand. All right? Even if we move them into Ueda, they won't engage the enemy. We have no support for them. We do, however, have support for our troops coming from the north. Okay? We don't have a lot of cards now, so I don't want to throw a card for movement. Okay? For my movement option, I'm going to pick 0 cards. I'm going to go for a minimal movement. Remember, that means I can move 1 stack of any stack I want, depending on how many movement points I can generate. So let's focus on that stack in the north there. Let's see if we can get enough movement to get them down here to Ueda. All right. And that's going to need, I'm going to need a movement of 2. Okay. So remember, a stack of 0 to 4 has a base movement of 1. And now we're looking for our bonuses. We're not on a highway. We have no highway bonus. But I sent that stack with a leader, the little banner there, the second one down. So I'm going to declare a leader bonus. I don't have to show the leader. It's a trust issue. Ishida just has to trust that I really have this leader. And that will generate my second movement point, which is what I need to get down to Ueda. So, using our 2 movement, let's move in. 1, 2. Okay. We're ready for a battle. So, Ishida would normally at this point have a choice of either battling out here on the plains, where it's going to be a straight-up battle, or retreating into the city, in which case it's going to be a siege. Okay? The problem is, you could only retreat into your city if you have 2 blocks or less. You can't split your forces. So Ishida cannot move into blocks and leave these guys stranded on the battlefield. All right? That doesn't work. You either move in everybody into the city and you're now besieging it, or you leave everybody out and they fight. Okay? So there's no choice for Ishida. He's going to have to meet us on the battlefield. Okay? And it's going to be our 4 against his 3. Now, remember, just because we have 4, it doesn't necessarily mean all 4 are going to attack, right? There's a good chance that maybe he'll be able to deploy some of these, maybe she won't be able to deploy any of them. We're just going to engage in battle and find out, okay? So, let's shoot over to the impact track real fast, and I'll show you how we count battle points. All right, so running along the edge of the board is what's called the impact tract. And this is how you score battles and decide who won and what the penalty is for the loser. And the way you work this is you take your little blockies and they start on 0. And as you deploy your troops and call them into battle, you're going to score their impact, okay? And that's based on the number of symbols. So if this troop was deployed, we would score 2 impact. If this one's deployed, we're going to add 4 to it, 1, 2, 3, 4, and so on and so forth, all right? So you're counting the symbols and any special bonuses that you might get. The impact track also tells you initiative. Who is moving, who is fighting, who gets to call troops right now, all right? And the way initiative works is, if the defender is, like, let's say we're like this, all right? Let's say we start the battle, we score 5 points of impact, all right? We are ahead on the impact track. So initiative now switches to the person who is behind. All right? So Ishida would have initiative. And let's say Ishida plays a card and brings out 2 units. 1, 2. Well, Ishida is still behind. So Ishida still has the initiative, which means Ishida gets to go again. She gets to play another card and bring out another unit. Now she brings out this one. And she scores 3 more points. 1, 2, 3. Ah, we are now behind. The initiative now switches to us. And we get to call more units, okay? What's interesting is all the defender has to do is tie, okay? Defenders win in the case of a tie. So if this was the impact right here, the impact track, right now the initiative would lie with us. Because technically, if this is how the battle ended, we would be the loser. Tie goes to the loser. So all the defender has to do is tie you, okay? Just meet you on the impact track, and initiative switches to the aggressor. We would play cards and increase. Initiative switches back to the person farther behind. They would play cards until they get ahead. Initiative switches to us. We would play a card. Not enough. We would play another card. It's a tie. Still not enough because we're the aggressor. We would play another card, and you would keep leapfrogging like this until one of 2 things happens. One, you run out of cards, okay? Clearly the battle is over at that point. However, you can stop fighting at any time, okay? You can say, I can tell where this is going, and Ishida can say, I'm going to lose. So even though I could play more cards, even though I could call more people onto battle, you don't have to. You can stop at any time. Okay? If you don't take the initiative, you lose the battle. All right? So whoever's behind has to either deploy a troop or lose the battle. Okay? What is also interesting about this cool little chart is you'll notice that it changes color. Okay? Every 7 points, you'll notice that it goes from white to black. Okay? And this grouping is how you determine losses. All right? So let me show you some loss scenarios. Here's our first one. Okay? We win. We're ahead on the initiative track. Ishida gives up. I'm not going to play any more cards. I'm not going to deploy any more troops. All right? So they are defeated in this battle. The person who's defeated automatically loses 1 block. Okay? Has to be, and there's an order to how you lose blocks, and we'll go over that. But you automatically lose 1 block. Okay? The aggressor does not. The aggressor loses no blocks. The winner, in this case, loses no blocks. All right? I'll show you a different scenario. Same thing, except we're past 7 points. In this scenario, Ishida still loses. As the defeated party, he automatically loses 1 block. However, we made it past 6 impact points, which means Ishida will now lose a 2nd block. Unfortunately, Ishida also made it past 6 impact points, which means we are going to lose 1 block. So even though we won the battle, Ishida generated enough impact that we're going to take a casualty. All right? The defeated party will always take a base 1 block. Always, always, always. But if you get past 7, you get bonus blocks. If you get past 13, bonus blocks. If you get past 27, so you're losing more and more blocks the more impact you go, all right? And that's why the numbers switch back and forth. So if you go into a battle and battle ends here, and you're thinking, oh man, if only I could have gotten 1 more impact, defender would have had to lose 2 blocks. Couldn't do it. Defender only loses 1. Okay. So you kind of want to keep your eye on the impact track when battles are going on, just so you can see how close you are to these little cutoff points. All right, let's move on. All right, we are the aggressor, which means we get to go first. Our impact is tied at 0, right? So the defender has met us on the battlefield, and it's our turn to launch our attack. Okay. Normally, you have to play a card to call one of these units into play. There is one little exception, and that has to do with a leader. Okay. So here's the deal. This is the leader of this particular clan. All right. So he is definitely loyal to us. He is definitely on our side, and we can call him onto battle without playing a card, if and only if we haven't played a card yet. Okay? The way I like to think of this is he's leading the charge. Right? So if I call one of these guys into battle, and then I call my leader, well, we got to pay a card. We're going to have to pay a card if he's coming out second. But if we bring him out first, if he's going to lead the charge and be a leader, we're going to call upon that ability by bringing him onto the battlefield without a card. Fabulous, because we don't have a lot of cards, right? Our cards are not very helpful. If we can get one of these guys on the playing field, on the battlefield for free, let's do it. And you can only do it at the beginning, okay? If you play a card to bring out any of those other units, we lose that initiative of leadership, all right? So our leader is going to charge upon the field first, okay? And all you do is you turn the block face up and you declare him in battle. So we would say, we deploy our leader. And now, let's shoot back to that impact chart. Right, nicely done. Our leader that we deployed, his symbol is only 1, so we only get 1 impact, but that's enough. We have taken the lead in this battle, and initiative now shifts back to Ishida, okay? Ishida gets to respond. Now, if we had managed to play like 6 points of impact, and Ishida played 1 block, he would get to go again. He could play a 3 block, he would get to go again. He would play a 5 block, he would get to go again, until he matches or passes us. The initiative stays with the person who's behind. So they get to play as many cards and blocks. They get to deploy as many units as they can until they either tie us, pass us, or give up. Okay? So right now we're back here. So Ishida needs to either tie us or pass us or give up at this point. Okay? We've taken the initiative on the battlefield. Let's see what she does. All right, Ishida's turn. If she wants, and if she has a leader, she can deploy it now without using a card. Okay? But she doesn't. She throws a card. And in a battle, you want to keep these cards on the battlefield. Okay? Don't put them in your discard pile. We made that mistake too. You're going to need them after the battle, all right, to count up some effects. So keep them here. Don't put them in your discard pile. So she's going to she's going to be able to deploy any clan, only 1 block, using that symbol. All right. So she's going to reveal a 2 strength block. All right. Back to the impact track. All right. So she beat us. 1, 2. Okay. If we quit now, we lose the battle. Okay. But I don't think we're done yet. Let's head back. Okay, let's see what we can do here. We don't have any more leaders, so we're going to have to start playing cards. That's our only hope. And we need to generate some impact. So let's see. What have we got? Well, we have a loyalty card we could play. And I probably, if I wanted to play it, I should have played it earlier. I'm going to save it for now. I promise you I'll show it to you. We could deploy our little laurel leaf unit, the one in the middle there. It has special ability. We wouldn't be able to use it, but we could deploy with it. The last one, our card in our hand, is the flower unit, again with a special ability, and we've got one sitting down there, so let me show you how that works. Let's play that one. So we're going to play this card, okay? And we're going to deploy our rifleman. Okay? All right. And we're going to activate their special ability. Okay. So if we didn't have these swords, we could still play this unit. All right. Our symbols still match. We just would play it and it would only cause 1 point of impact. But because we're playing it with a special ability, we're going to get 1 point of impact plus it's special. So how does that work? All right. Well, a special ability is cumulative, all right? So we're going to get 1 point of impact here. It's sort of base impact, all right? If we're using a special attack, we're going to gain an extra 2 points for the guns, all right? So we're up to 3. However, there's one last bonus we can cash in. If you deploy blocks from the same clan, they enjoy fighting together, I guess, and they do a really good job. You get +1 for every previous block of matching clan, right? So this guy has a base impact of 3. 1 for its symbol, 2 for its special. We have a matching clan on the board already. So that's going to give us yet another point. So this block alone is going to garner us 4 points. Okay? Now, if we had, just for giggles, already deployed this guy, this block would now give us 1 for the symbol, 2 for the special, +1, +1. All right? So if you can deploy blocks of the same clan, you get a bonus for it. That's awesome. But we're not there yet. We're not there yet. We're doing just fine here. So 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 points of impact. Whew, let's go score that. All right, 4 points. Here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4. Fabulous. All right, so now Ishida is looking, it's definitely behind here. She's going to need to score at least 3 points of impact in order to meet us on the battlefield. Let's see what she can do. All right, Ishida's turn, and she decides to declare defeat. Oh, this is fabulous, all right? Now, here's the tricky part. We are only at 5 on the impact chart, all right? If we can get up to 7, we're going to get her to lose another block, okay? So we could, if we wanted to, call these guys in, all right? If we call these guys into battle, we're not going to be able to use a special ability, but it will give us those magic 2 impact points, okay? And she's going to lose another unit. But this is where things get tricky. We only have 2 cards left. And remember Gifu, the massing at Gifu? If we use that card, man, we're going to have nothing left to defend over in Gifu. Okay. But let's be reckless. Let's do it. Let's do it. So even though Ishida has declared that she's not going to deploy any more people onto the battlefield, the battle is not over. We can keep fighting. We can just, I guess, massacre them. All right? So let's do that. Let's say, I'm glad you're done, but we're not. All right? We're going to deploy another unit onto the battlefield. Okay? For 2 more impact points. And that means we made it to 7. All right, there it is. 1, 2. This is a fabulous battle for us. Not only did we manage to win the battle, we made it to the first bonus level. Okay? So, we were victorious. We came out ahead on the impact track. As the defeated party, Ishida must lose 1 block. Because we made it up to 7, she is going to have to lose a 2nd block. Ha ha! So, let's actually jump back to the blocks really fast, and I'll show you how losses work. Let's clear our little track and get us ready for the next one. All right, Ishida suffered 2 units of loss. And the way you select the blocks to be removed from the game, it's very specific. First, you must select from the blocks that were deployed. All right, so in this case, she only deployed 1. So this one is definitely going to be removed from the game. It's put on the side of the board, face up, and it will never come back into play again. All right, let's go. Now, since she only deployed 1 troop, she now gets to pick from her remaining forces which block she's going to lose as a casualty of this battle. This block, however, she does not have to show us. So she's going to pick a block, turn it face down, and put it to the side of the board. Okay. The next thing that happens is the remaining forces retreat. Okay. And in this case, since she started there, she didn't move in from anywhere else on the board. So normally, if she came from Saku and moved in here and was defeated, she would move back. But she started there. We brought this battle to her. So she gets a chance to retreat. And since she's down to only 1 sad little unit, she is going to retreat into Ueda. All right? So she's now inside this, little castle. So this means if we try to attack her again, the battle is not going to occur on the field. It's going to be a siege. All right? So she's going to withdraw her troops into the city, her 1 remaining troop. Okay. Our blocks get tipped back up again and hidden from her view. I mean, she knows what they are, but we didn't lose any of them. What a good fight, little people. And now this is the we're down here actually. This is the part of the game which you're finally like, oh my gosh, how do I get cards in the game? This is one of the ways you do it. Okay, we get to draw cards at this point. Okay, remember how I said keep these cards onto the board, don't put them in your discard pile yet? This is why. You get to draw as many cards as you used in battle. Okay? So we're going to get to draw 2 cards, and Ishida is going to get to draw 1 card. In addition to the cards we used in battle, you get to redraw cards based upon the number of blocks you lost. All right? So for every 2 blocks you lose in battle, you get to draw 1 card. It's different with a siege. In a siege, for every 1 block you lose, you get to draw a card. Okay? This wasn't a siege. This was a straight up battle. So we didn't lose any blocks. So Ishida is also going to get to draw an additional card. So we're both going to be drawing 2 cards. And these are going to go immediately into our hand. Let's see what we get. All right, so we get 2 new cards, which is good because all we've got is this loyalty card in our hand. Let's see what we get. Hopefully it'll be something fabulous. All right, what is that? Like a 3-leaf clover symbol? Oh, the Tokugawa symbol. Awesome. All right, we could probably use that with something, I'm sure. And, oh, 2 of them. Well, okay, that's not so helpful. I was really hoping for something different. Okay. Well, that was the end of our turn, all right? We moved and we attacked. We didn't move any other units, so initiative switches over to Ishida. We're in trouble here. All right, let's see what she does.